This is the story of a girl who cried a river and drowned the whole world. And while she looks so sad in photographs, I absolutely love her when she smiles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Side B.
Side B podcast this time?
Yeah, Side B podcast, I guess.
What do you mean Side B this time?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I am, dude. Shut the hell up.
I mean, this isn't the snack bar?
I wish it was a snack bar. You know which snack bar I wish I would be at?
Which
Snack bar?
The Power Rangers snack bar.
Oh, yeah, the fucking juice bar.
Yeah.
Why was juice a thing for teenagers in the early 90s, and why do I want juice right now?
I guess everybody was trying to be organic back in the day.
I guess I could believe that. So,
And they just went, fuck it.
we just decided I'll get fat.
Yeah.
So, I'm Professor Icepick.
I'm PsychBat.
And I'm the KG.
Yep. And we are talking about the non-Nintendo... the non-Nintendo... I can't even say it with a straight face.
Jesus.
The non-Nintendo E3 conferences from 2017. Or as I like to call it, a parade of horrors.
Oh,
minus
boy.
Or whores, maybe. I don't know. Whichever you prefer.
I mean, I thought Digital Devolver was great.
Oh, Devolver Digital was the best. That was my favorite.
Yeah, that was the best one.
But,
I mean,
yeah. We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves there, but
Yeah.
I guess it is tomorrow's business practices today or whatever.
yeah.
Tomorrow's unsavory business practices today. Speaking of unsavory business practices, let's start with Saturday's sole presentation, EA Play.
The one I didn't really bother to look at.
No one should. Psych watched it live, but I was smart and watched an archive instead.
It was.
I'm not sure how that makes you smart since you still watched it.
I watched it at double speed, so I only had to suffer for half as long.
So it was a half as stupid.
Yes, exactly.
Well, in any case, I guess I do have something I could poke from EA. Earlier before E3, sounded like FIFA Switch was going to be like a shit port, you know, something where EA doesn't put much effort in. And granted, like when they sort of revealed like in a photo of it, it kind of gave you that feeling that they really don't give a shit because the image was superimposed for the Switch's resolution, and therefore you saw like grainy text that you couldn't even read.
Right.
But it seems like it's only missing story mode. It actually doesn't look bad. It looks on par with other versions before they put it on Frostbite. And it seems like it's getting a decent amount of work in. So it's not exactly a shitty port. And so I guess for some people that's more exciting, especially given the Switch's unique gimmick.
KG, I don't believe you. I mean, the Switch version of FIFA is not going to include the most important part of all, the story mode. I mean, who is Alex Marcus?
Who?
Exactly.
I thought it was Alex Hunter.
Wait.
Fuck, I don't know what his name is. I don't give a shit.
I thought that was for FIFA 17.
I thought that was for FIFA 18 because they did this whole fucking like reel at the conference where they had a bunch of actual sports personalities, a bunch of athletes talking about EA's OC character in FIFA 18.
Yeah, KJ, they're actually continuing the story mode in FIFA 18.
No.
So
Yeah.
terrible.
Well, maybe that's why they didn't really put it in, besides the fact that it doesn't support Frostbite. You know, like, people won't know the story. from the previous game. That's why they didn't put it in the Switch version.
But KG, he had the best rookie year of all time.
But how will we experience that rookie year if we can't witness it?
Huh.
There was something else that bugged me that they did before they were talking about FIFA. So they did, like, for some reason, a lot of companies this year did, like, shit where they had, like, a sizzle reel of YouTubers talking about how great one of their games was. EA did it with Battlefield 1. And for some reason, the first person they used in the Battlefield 1, like, hype video was just a cartoon character. And I shit you not, have either of you ever seen Bob's Burgers?
Yeah.
He sounded like Zeke off of Bob's Burgers. He's like, dang girl, I love me some of that Battlefield 1, you know, shit like that. It's great.
Yikes.
It's that, and I'm like, and this is why I need to. This sure solidified my decision on whether or not to buy this game.
There's also a reveal. I mean, we skipped all the way to FIFA, but I think one of the first things they show is the Madden 18 gets story mode.
Oh yeah, my favorite part of that is how they started out. That they had a whole bunch of like drummers walking around in football uniforms.
What the fuck, really?
Yeah,
I didn't see the beginning of that.
It was so stupid.
I saw the DLC for Battlefield 1. That's where I started.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And they did a whole bunch of shit about esports, which I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Then I was wondering why they gave the winner of the esports tournament like a wrestling world title belt. And I'm like, what?
KG's dream come true.
KG is the Futanari champion of the world.
Oh, Jesus. How can I be a Futanari if I'm still a boy?
Not for long.
I don't know how I would feel about that.
Need for Speed Payback. Well,
it's Fast and the Furious, the game, the movie,
honestly,
the game.
Burnout and some other fucking driving game, but it looks alright. I don't think it's a game I play, but other than the cinematic voiceovers they have in this shit, it's fucking awful. I hate when they do that.
Cinematic voiceovers is why I'm calling it Fast and the Furious. I'm like, did they just really want to make a Fast and the Furious game and then Universal said no?
I think they just capitalized on the driving thing again, you know.
Okay, Vin Diesel, we gotta steal this car. We gotta take down this truck and we gotta rob it. And then I actually did write one thing about that. It's like more cutscene than gameplay. Does that ever fool anyone?
No, but we'll keep trying until it does.
Yeah. And they were talking about EA Originals, which I guess is their indie label.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, A Way Out, a new game by the guy who made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Yeah, so it's co-op mandatory, and that's kind of a turn-off for me.
Ooh. Sorry, Icepick, but you have to share the dildo.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's got two heads.
Ooh, KG's favorite.
Let's see here now. See, they say that... I just remember the guy came up, he had this really... I don't know where he was from, but he had a really weird accent. He was like, we want you and your friend to play on the couch.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. I think it's not one of the main countries.
I don't know why I didn't do this.
I think he might be from Belgium. Or like...
Possibly.
Or like the Netherlands, maybe? One of those two.
I just pre-ordered something.
You did?
Yeah.
Groovy. What'd you pre-order?
Mario and Luigi.
Hooray.
Oh, the new one?
Yeah, well... sort of new one. Yeah,
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I also pre-ordered a special edition earlier today of that game.
Oh.
I don't believe you.
I mean, I posted a link earlier.
Shut up. Anyways.
Anyway, yeah.
Let's see here now.
Oh! Then
Yeah.
they showed a teaser
Oh,
for an
God.
upcoming BioWare game,
Oh,
Anthem.
Yeah,
And
that was stupid. I don't know why they didn't just show that at their own conference.
Well, maybe they're just like, oh, well, Microsoft, you can have something.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, though. It could have been the best part of the EA conference, though.
I know. I mean, I saw that. Actually, I'll talk about that later.
Right.
When we get to Microsoft.
Well, that's the next one, so yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I'm not saying it's like now. I'm just saying that's the second conference.
I thought that a different company was second.
Okay.
No, wait, never mind.
It is Microsoft.
Okay. Alright, well then I guess I'll talk about Anthem anyway. Even though it was like the last game of their conference, or at least it was until I stopped giving a fuck.
Right.
I was looking at it, and I'm like, there's some bits where I'm like, oh, it seems cool and whatnot, but I'm like, this sort of feels like a checkbox thing.
I mean, it was
already
probably
happening, and unfortunately for me, while I wasn't exactly the biggest BioWare fan, or rather, even someone who consumed their stuff, I'm a bit weary, given their quality of like the latest stuff that they have overall. Mass Effect 3 is ultimately debatable. When you have Dragon Age Inquisition and then Mass Effect Andromeda, which really put a stinker on them, because it's like, it feels like you could have just made this game for like the PS3 360. So honestly, yeah, I'm pretty weary. That whole "you're only as good as your last product" kind of approach.
I mean, that's just the reality of the industry in general.
It's so weird because it feels like everybody just kind of gave up on the project 3/4 in of Andromeda and just went to work for Anthem.
Yeah, there was a lot of politics going on at BioWare in regards to, oh, you're probably sabotaging our game and blah 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 and shit. And it's like, we need animators because we have like 2.
Didn't they end up farming it out to Malaysia or something?
I don't know.
It was some Asian country that you wouldn't normally think of. Well, you know what I mean.
No, I mean, pretty sure they were fighting over that new Twix promotional.
All of them wanted the left Twix, and nobody wanted the right Twixes. And then the garbage was full of right Twixes, and then someone complained. It's like, guys, there are ants all over the office. You've got to start eating the right Twixes. And then so many of them said, you know what, fuck it. The guys over at Anthem will let us just throw away the right Twixes, so we're going to go over there. And 3 people stayed because they didn't know how to get to the Anthem office. But KG, in all honesty, I'm surprised that you're not really into BioWare. I mean, they pioneered the dating sim in the West.
I'm kind of surprised people aren't too into Japanese games, since they take upon what BioWare has brought to this industry.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think Anthem might be the most interesting thing I've ever seen out of BioWare, but I don't really like their stuff that much either, so I mean, that's not really saying that much.
Yeah.
But I see your point when you say that it feels like they're just sort of riffing on everyone else.
Yeah.
I was like, is this Destiny when she jumped into the robot suit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and then I remember when I initially saw the setting, I'm like, is this Horizon Zero Dawn?
People are just making comparisons left and right, man. Like BioWare.
Like,
I mean,
Oh, what
just,
the fuck?
sorry, what?
You know what? Ah, shit. Oh man, there's still stuff coming out for Nintendo stuff, but I'm kind of... I got sticker shock when it came.
Alright, well, I mean, save that for next time, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, shit, yeah, then they talked about NBA Live 18, which... I have to wonder, why the fuck would NBA players give a fuck about having respect in the streets?
Pretty sure it's big. I'm not familiar with the politics, so I can't really comment on that kind of shit.
KG, you're a basketball American, aren't you?
No.
Oh!
I don't even know where I stole that from. I just remember hearing someone say, "Well, you're like basketball American, aren't you?" But I don't get. I feel like NBA players would not give. It's like if some dude playing street ball tries to diss them, wouldn't they just be like, "Yeah, all right, I'll just go home to my like $1 billion mansion and fuck my supermodel wife while you're playing fucking horse in the streets."
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me.
Let's see.
Let's see. Then they got to Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Honestly, I don't know if I'll get that game.
The funniest thing about Battlefront 2 was that they wanted to show a tweet from John Boyega, is it?
Yeah.
Keep on thinking his first name is Finn, but it isn't. So it's like, no, John Boyega said something on Twitter, and they couldn't show actual Twitter. They had to make like they had to like recreate all of the tweets. And I'm like, did they just have to do this because it was easier than clipping out all the stuff that said stuff like, yeah, fuck off and die, EA, or you guys are assholes, or, you know, shit like that? Like, that's my guess. Maybe I'm wrong?
Probably. I mean, not...
I'm
EA...
saying you're probably wrong.
It's just... No, I'm saying, like, EA is aware of the fans, and they're... While the fans are pretty much...
Some of it positive, some of it constructive.
It's just
Some of
not...
it, like my chest hairs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean... When people can be pretty nasty on the internet, so, I mean, that goes without saying. EA is aware of that. They're not the most popular company around. They're not the most beautiful... They're not the most trustworthy dame on the street. Yeah.
Not exactly my problem.
Yeah.
I think it was weird that they decided to showcase Darth Maul so much.
It's because Darth Maul's so fucking popular.
He's popular.
Poplars.
I love Darth Maul. He's great. He has the double-edged lightsaber and everything.
Right. And you got them robot spider legs.
Does it actually... Oh, yeah. No, I mean, he doesn't have it here, but...
I know, I'm just saying you got the robot spider legs.
I thought we were talking about the droid for a second, then I remember Darth Maul did have spider legs. Then I remember that, no, he doesn't have it here.
Yeah.
It's just weird that we have Yoda against him. It's weird.
Yeah, that was weird. And another thing that bothered... Was there one point where there was like a robot and he had like a screen for a face, and then the screen turned on and he had like Emperor Palpatine's face? Did that happen, or did I hallucinate that?
That happened.
It was
It's
weird.
just the story mode thing, like, oh, Emperor Palpatine's up to his mischievous, silly games again.
Yeah,
but
because
he's dead.
making him a robot will allow him to use his force powers, right?
I think it's just a pre-recorded message or some shit.
Yeah, why make a droid for that though? It's so stupid. Yeah, Yeah, there was another thing that they pointed out during it, like, they said, oh, Finn will be free DLC and so will Captain Phasma, and that just made me reflect, did anyone actually really care about Captain Phasma?
It's like the Boba Fett effect.
Yeah, but
Boba Fett effect.
The thing about it, though, is that it's like they tried to make her Boba Fett, but it didn't work. I feel like Boba Fett happened on accident, and so did TR-8R. TR-8R was the Boba Fett of that film.
Sorry, man. It's gonna happen someday, some way or another.
I'm just saying. Traitor! That shit. That guy was like... That guy, everyone, globbed onto for a while.
Globbed onto.
I was actually talking about this in one of the other podcasts, and it's like I asked everyone if they remembered who Captain Phasma was, and they were like, no. I had to, describe her to them, and then they were even more shocked when I said it was a woman. So they didn't even remember who I was talking about.
Nobody did?
Nobody. I had to, go into it, and then they were like, oh, yeah, I think I know who you... No, wait. Dari was the only one who vaguely recalled who I was talking about after I described her to them.
That's kind of embarrassing.
It's the most embarrassing.
Nobody remembered. Amazing.
No, nobody remembered. No.
And yet you say it here nonchalantly, and we know who the fuck she is.
I know, I knew that was going on. We did a whole podcast on Star Wars. I knew you were going to know who Captain Phasma was.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that I hope they try to make her a better character in the second movie. I don't really know where they can go with her, but...
You know what they're going to do? They're just going to give her more screen time. She's not really going to do anything.
Oh boy, that's going to...
See, that's
how fun.
Boba Fett effect.
Yeah, but the thing about Boba Fett is that people liked him, and that's why he got more screen time.
People liked this action figure.
Well, yeah, people liked his action figure. Well, yeah, what does Captain Phasma's action figure do? She doesn't shoot rockets that stab kids in the eyes. How is she gonna be cool?
She's shiny, Icepick.
She's shiny.
Stands out.
Oh yeah, she stands out all right. I believe that. Jesus
Didn't she
Christ.
have a cape or something?
I think she did have a cape and a little... She had a shoulder pad. No, wait. What they should do with her in the sequel is they should give her 2 shoulder pads. They should redesign her armor so that she looks like Murphy Brown. Like a strong, independent businesswoman from the late 80s to early 90s. That is how you save Captain Phasma.
I do have a question about that, though.
Okay.
Is it necessary to say strong, independent businesswoman if she's a businesswoman?
I mean, that's a good point. Okay, fair enough.
Well, the EA conference ended with a boring-ass gameplay.
40v40. No, 20v20.
It's just... They were commentating on this, too. I just seen some 2 other assholes, and I'm like, this is the most boring shit.
Those were professionals? Those were actual people? I thought they just picked 3 homeless vagrants off the street.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't professional commentators, they were just professional talkers.
YouTubers, I mean. Well,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I could tell how professional they were talking. I mean, I'm better at talking right now. I'm dying of heat stroke. I've got a belly full of Indian food, and I think I'm more coherent than all 3 of them put together.
I had Greek food at lunch.
Greek food's
nice.
good. Greek food's great. My favorite bit of the Star Wars thing, though, was when they accidentally showed 3 seconds of NBA footage.
Yeah.
That shit was great.
So the EA conference was a dud. They had a YouTuber there who messed up his lines, and the guy who his son's name is Luigi. He
I love that guy.
3 times, and he was so dull.
I remember he was like, me, yeah, I know, me again, and I'm beginning to hate self-deprecating humor.
It's just not done well. He has a monotone voice. But
Psych, you're forgetting Grand Admiral Thrawn is in the Star Wars mobile game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And actually, one weird thing I noticed about the EA conference is that they were shilling for Gamescom during E3. That was fucking weird.
I blame KG.
Yeah, probably.
I'll take it.
All right, so you guys want to move on to Microsoft?
You know, the fact that we haven't moved on, that kind of surprises me.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to talk. I wanted to talk shit about Star Wars. I wanted to talk shit about Star Wars Battlefront.
All right. In any case, I don't remember what Microsoft started with because
I remember. They showed off like this stupid video where they had like the original Xbox at like 640 by 480. Then they moved on to the Xbox 360, which I think went up to like 720. Then the Xbox One, which was at 1080, and then the whole screen filled out, and it was at like 4K. And that was like that was the beginning.
That was the beginning.
Let's see. Crackdown 3 wasn't canceled, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Mixer. Hey, Psych, remember Mixer?
Oh god, they just wrote that out of nowhere.
Fucking Mixer. I love it. Oh boy. Oh man. Let's see. I remember laughing at the name Xbox One X, but then I realized this on my own. The acronym is Xbox. And I'm angry at that. That made me angry when I realized it. The acronym is Xbox. And I got really angry when I realized that. I was pissed off. I was pissed off as hell at that.
That's amazing.
I know, right? I know. Its acronym is Xbox, and I love it now. I love it now, but I hated it then.
That's magnificent.
I know, right?
God. Jesus.
See, so then they talked about the Xbox One X for a while. I mean, I have to admit, some of that shit was pretty cool. It's liquid cooled.
Oh, nice.
It's liquid cooled. I love that. Smallest Xbox ever, even smaller than the Xbox One Slim, which I don't get how that works.
I mean, it's smaller than that, but looking at a picture comparison, it's not that much smaller, but it is smaller.
Right, right. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, I remember saying that when they started talking about Forza, and I didn't know it was pronounced Forza until this year, so I've been saying Forza the whole time, but it's Forza, you see. When they were talking about that, I honestly thought that the presenter was going to drop out of the ceiling in a car, like he did in previous years.
Hmm.
I mean, what I think is interesting is that Forza is apparently more popular than Gran Turismo.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. When you told me that acronym, I remember seeing a thread going, how are we abbreviating Xbox One X? And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, very few people picked up on it, what you just said.
I know, right?
Jesus, it's like some people do, and someone's like, they post that image of that one black dude who's just like...
With the question marks, or, Oh, no, with a different one. Let's see, so... Then they had two women race each other in Forza, and I guess that was a big step for for Xbox. They had two women on there. Great. They had two whole women. At the same time, even.
That's like 4 titties.
Fucking hell.
Let's see. Then Phil Spencer said that Xbox had 42 games coming out, and 22 of them were console exclusives.
Yeah.
Then they did the new Metro game, which it looked interesting. I'm not really into the series, but eh.
Yeah, I do know that game tends to look pretty good, and for some reason I kind of procrastinated when picking up like the double pack and shit. But yeah, it looks alright. at the very least.
My favorite part of the demo was when like he was fighting against that irradiated bear, and he tricked it into like falling off a cliff, and then he shoots it in the face with a crossbow. It doesn't do anything to it, but he just does it, and then he zip lines away from it. He just shot it in the face for no reason. And I just remembered seeing that, and I'm like, I think this is the most realistic gameplay footage I've ever seen at an E3 conference. He just shoots the bear in the face for no fucking reason.
That's fantastic.
I loved that.
And I usually don't endorse animal abuse.
Yeah, me neither, but that bear was kind of being a dick, KG.
He was asking for it.
He was asking for that crossbow bolt
It's like,
in the
well,
face.
if he didn't want to get shot in the face, why did he attack him? He wouldn't have gotten shot in the face.
Let's see, then we have, Psych's favorite, Assassin's Creed Origins!
Oh. I'm surprised they showed it at the Microsoft conference.
I'm not.
I mean, Psych, did you know that ancient Egypt is, in fact, where civilization began? So much shit being said during that thing.
Like, honestly, the setting's cool, but, I got sidetracked by the arrow moving by itself.
Yeah, that was crazy. And didn't you also say stuff about how you were I remember reading somewhere that someone was pissed off that like you leveled up like in an RPG or some shit.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
So weird. Let's see. Then they started showing off like exclusive games. Deep Rock Galactic is the first one I wrote about. Which that was that like retro ass looking 3D FPS.
Oh yeah.
I think that looks alright.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Then State of Decay 2 almost gave me a heart attack. Because I thought State of Decay 2, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought...
No, I wasn't correcting you. I was repeating it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Dead Rising 5 because I kept on using, like, Dead Rising sound clips.
I knew it wasn't Dead Rising. It just seemed too weird. It seemed too, depressing.
I don't know.
I don't know about that, Psych. Dead Rising 4 was pretty depressing.
For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It was meta horror. It's like, wait, this is the new one? No! Finally, a survival horror game that actually scares players.
Let's see.
God, then we had the Minecraft thing.
Alright, finally, a moment for me to shine.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I think this was around the time where I popped in because I wasn't doing anything else. I sort of finished some streaming. I was looking for some food to eat, and I made my folks some lunch in the meantime. So I came in and they were talking about like super duper graphics, and it's like, oh, you know, it's more lighting. And so I was like, right. And somehow I think I missed over time that there was going to be crossplay, because I did hear chatter of like the Nintendo Switch appearing on the stream, and I saw what it was. And I'm like, oh, hey, look, crossplay between Nintendo Switch and the Xbox. And this moment was incredibly important to me, because this was a moment where it started to shape a narrative against Sony.
My favorite type of narrative.
And so more information came out for Minecraft, one of which is that all systems that benefit from crossplay will also get the super duper graphics support, which I was like, oh, alright, that's pretty neat. And DLC is cross-buy across all systems. So I was like, holy shit.
Okay, that's actually really cool.
And so, like, they're adding something called Minecraft realms, where instead of being restricted by like save file sizes, which restricts the world,
Right.
instead, since it's hosted on the server, the world can be infinite in size.
That would be pretty interesting if I was into Minecraft.
Yeah, and so another part that some people brought up is that it would actually be feasible to sort of do something MMO-esque with Minecraft. And so I'm like, I think they're building upon Minecraft without the need to make a sequel. And I think they're honestly doing very good work with it.
I mean, that's a smart idea. Minecraft's really one of those games where you don't actually need a sequel.
Yeah, because it keeps fucking selling somehow.
Like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, like it's still the #1 selling game on the Switch eShop, even though there's a bunch of different versions out and stuff.
Also,
And so,
I mean, once you take a look at it, though, once you really get a good look, you can see the prokaryotic cells and the eukaryotic cells.
Holy shit, those are some words I haven't heard in a while.
You and me both, man. You and me both.
Holy shit, dude. Did you just come from school or something?
Psych, did you just eat a dictionary or an encyclopedia or something? Mitosis, meiosis over here.
Oh my gosh. Fucking hell. You would not believe how long I looked at the stupid biology book when I was bored in biology class. It's so dumb.
Wow.
Yes, and then you realize you couldn't look at it for porn.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, not at all. You can't.
That's what the sex ed book was for, KG.
We didn't even have one of those.
You didn't? I went to Catholic school and I learned sex ed in, like, grade school, man.
It's like, you know how you put a pencil in a pencil sharpener? That's what fucking is like, guys.
But going back to that, I mean, I think it's clever, but lots of people are defending Sony's refusal. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm saying that... No. They actually keep going, Gage, because I want to talk about this, but at a later time.
Right.
Well, it was mainly to kind of go against your point, but, like, it feels like a lot of it's sort of like, well, they sold a lot, but then you remember, it sold a lot more on fucking Xbox and the other platforms that it's on, and so there's a bigger market, and so it's not so much that it's worth defending, it's more like, I don't want to defend someone who shoots themselves in the foot.
Right.
And so this was definitely a game that kind of shifted the narrative.
I mean, Go ahead.
And honestly, though, I feel like all three of the major conferences basically help shift that narrative. But anyway, let's move on from Minecraft.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
I do want to get into crossplay later, though.
All right,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we got third-party stuff. He name dropped Japan. And I'm like, oh shit, Japanese games. Then they showed off. Mwah.
Oh yeah.
Mwah. Dragon Ball Fighter Z or whatever.
Give it all to my face right now.
I loved it.
Yes. I'm like, this is great. I love it.
This is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's just magnifique.
I just remember I was talking to Mike because he said he liked the Sony conference more than the Microsoft one. And I said to him, well, yeah, but like the Microsoft one had Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and he's like, well, that's on everything. And I'm like, I'm just thinking to myself, bitch, I have been saying that to Sony for the past 5 fucking years, and everyone thinks I'm full of shit. Now the other side does it, and you're like, oh, well, that's on everything else. No, fuck you. You don't get to turn around and flip the script on me when I use your own bad tactics against you. No, bad man.
The worst part is I was almost considering going, it'll probably kind of damper some things about the conference, but then again, Sony's wasn't quite as rehashy. from like Microsoft stuff, but then again, it was still pretty rehashed.
I feel like Microsoft got the better pick of the third-party multiplats this year.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Remember, we're talking about the conference, the conferences, the presentations.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean, the video games are part of it, but also don't forget. I mean, that's why Microsoft did it a little bit better than Sony.
No, I still think Microsoft should just trim down their conference times, though.
But KG...
Because it's like 2 fucking hours, and it's like both Nintendo and Sony trimmed theirs down.
I mean, the Sony
Although
cheated.
Nintendo was a little too much.
Yeah, but...
It made the best of its time.
Yeah, but like, Sony cheated. Apparently they had an entire hour worth of pre-show where they actually showed new shit, so their show was 2 hours. It's just that nobody fucking knew it was gonna be 2 hours until it was too late.
Yeah, I looked at the link that you posted, and I was like, oh, you know, it's at 5, and blah, 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 and at 6 we'll hear more stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, that's Pacific time. So we're in the second hour of the fucking thing.
Like, I'm getting out of the shower. I'm like, I feel relaxed. Now to pop in and wait for the Sony one to begin. And I see these two assholes talking to each other, jerking each other off about how Undertale is coming to PlayStation. And I'm like, wait, did I miss the conference?
Yeah, you know, I will say this isn't quite towards the conferences in general, but I was quite annoyed by one of the groups I was in, because earlier today they were starting to post misleading shit that didn't actually appear in the conference. And so I'm like, and so we're like, oh, this was actually announced, which I was taken by surprise by Ki. And then we're like, oh, here's these 2 other pie in the sky things. I'm like, oh, I'll check and see, and it's not there. I'm like, I wish these dudes just shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Let's see, then they showed off some other stuff like Black Desert, which I guess is an MMORPG. The Last Night, which actually looks kind of cool. The Artful Escape, which looks like something a hipster threw up on me.
But it looks pretty nice.
Right.
I think I've seen a bit of Black Desert before, or at least heard about it.
Apparently,
it seems like a game that you can do quite a lot of, and you don't need to necessarily be like a a typical adventure. You could basically get on by being like some sort of merchant of sorts, and so there's a lot of freedom in what you can do in your time. So I guess there's that, but I don't know if it's Did they say it was Xbox exclusive?
I think it might have been like Xbox console exclusive. Maybe it may not have been though. I'm not sure. I began to block the exclusive sound out of my head whenever it popped up.
Yeah, I sort of got annoyed after a bit. I'm like, okay, we get it. Shut the fuck up.
Then they showed off Code Vein, which I actually kind of... It's like, I'm not really into Souls-likes, but that game... I'm not sure. Code Vein. That's the Namco Bandai one where you're a vampire?
I don't think I looked at that one. I think I turned my attention away for a bit.
Oh, that's fine.
How could you?
And then I think you got mad at me for doing that.
Because it's anime.
Because you made it sound like I was passive aggressive about it.
Well, it's anime, dude. I was surprised that you missed it.
He was soon for it.
Soon.
He was soon.
They showed the Darwin Project before all of those.
Oh yeah, I forgot to write about the Darwin Project. The Darwin Project looked
like lemons.
No, the art direction, the art style, and everything was nice, but except I don't know about the gameplay yet.
It looked like an Overwatch ripoff, but in like third person, and I'm like, this looks kind of okay. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
it's that kind of thing where it's like, okay, it's a pretty nice concept, but the gameplay is like, eh.
I'm not sure if I want to buy you.
Last Night looks really cool, though. I like.
Yeah, I like the art style. I like the aesthetic. It looks good. I want to grab that. Oh yeah, then we got the first of the big 3 resurrections. Sea of Thieves, baby.
Yeah, look, it's pretty cool.
It does look pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they had voiceover, which I agree with Eckley was kind of just a chore to get through, but they
remember Monkey Island? I'm not nearly that funny.
Yeah, we could do. I mean, they did less voiceovers this year than previous years.
Right.
But I think we should just phase it out altogether.
Yeah, maybe not do that as much. Let's see. Tacoma's back, which I always refer to that game since it's basically made by the Fulbright Company and is supposed to be a successor to their most popular game, Gone Home. I just call it Lesbians in Space.
Like, I was interested in
that was
this.
a great voice right there.
Thank you.
Like, I was interested in this game last year, but I don't know about this time. But we finally got a release date for the most anticipated game of last 3 E3s.
Cuphead.
You were choking, oh yeah, Cuphead.
Also, Super Lucky's Tale is a thing, and it looks kind of interesting because they ditched VR.
Choking. I wasn't choking. I was gargling.
He was choking on his own words.
I was chortling your balls.
Lucky's Tale, I first heard of. In fact, it was how I was introduced to the AI channel.
Oh. Oh, that's good. I like AI channel.
I just wish I could find more stuff that I'm willing to put out at the moment. Because right now it has like a bunch of stuff where she's playing games. I'm like, I don't really want to show that.
Right, I could understand that. But yeah, Cuphead's coming, and it's got a release date.
Somehow YouTube looks even worse than I imagined. Oh Jesus! Because like they literally just changed it to hold up. I think it put me onto gaming.youtube.
Oh yeah, is it all black?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gaming.youtube.
I think it's probably because it's YouTube/E3.
Yeah, if you click on the I hate that shit. YouTube occasionally does this thing where they'll put like random shit in their logo, and it's like you just want to go back to the main page, but you accidentally click the part that sends you to some random ass bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's see.
Terry, a bunch of indie games.
Yeah, they did, and
the indie games is kind of weird to me because, like, honestly, I feel like Microsoft showed them off the most.
Yeah, actually, you're right. That is weird.
Because, like, you know Microsoft had, like, a bad rep at first, but then you see all this, and then you look at, like, both Sony and Nintendo's, and it's like, where's all the indie games?
Yeah, where's Nindies?
Maybe they're just pretty smart on their marketing, you know?
Right.
Like,
Maybe.
I mean, all 3 consoles have indie games, but it's just Microsoft putting a reel up.
Well, yeah, Microsoft is like saying, like, hey, we're rededicating ourselves to the concept of indie games since we have such a very shitty reputation among them. So we're going to try to like do better by them and fix our shit.
What stuck out to me was Unruly Heroes.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that stuck out to me, but it looked pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, I forgot it already.
Honestly, I was trying to go, what the hell is that again? I don't fucking remember. Unruly Heroes. I was just like, why do I not remember this?
Then we had Terry Crews is in Crackdown 3, and I love it.
Dude, don't forget the biggest game of the night. And it's not Anthem. It's
Ashen.
Oh, well, Ashen was pretty cool, too. I mean, it looked alright.
Yeah. Now it's Life is Strange, too.
It's Life is Strange Before the Storm. Come on, guys, let's hear some applause.
Woo! We did it.
Oh man, I was so bored during
the worst part about it is that it's a prequel, which just seems like the dumbest thing they could have done with that.
Like I say, it must be one of those things.
I'm sure we're quite interested to see where she was where she wasn't a lesbian yet. But
You mean before she had her psychic lesbian powers, where she could change time?
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Shadow of War.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know. Okay, that's.
I liked how Shrek was in it. I liked how Shrek was in Shadow of War.
Well,
I think I mainly tuned out of that part because I wasn't interested in the first game.
I mean,
was
that's how
too
I
long.
felt. It was too long. It was way too long.
Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah.
And the part that caught my eye was when he converted that.
When he converted Shrek.
Yeah. So.
Dark Lord, Bright Lord, it's all good. And I'm like, holy shit, he's Shrek now.
Yeah,
I love him.
Well, you know what to say? Somebody once told me.
Somebody once.
Yeah. Donut.
Good. Let's see. See, at one point I said Xbox's resurrection is too powerful to be contained within 90 minutes. Which I think that was just in reference to Terry Crews. Let's see. Then we got Ori 2, which that's good. I'm happy for that.
They were going to end the conference on that, and I was like, that's not what I would expect them to end off with.
I mean, we got at least one more awesome thing after that, so I'm fine that they didn't end it there.
Actually, now I have a question.
Okay.
And I think this did happen. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty was at one of them.
It was at Sony.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd to me that they didn't cover Call of Duty.
Call of Duty is Sony friendly now. That happened during the PS4 era.
Oh yeah.
I know it's weird.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It is weird.
Because it's like at first it's like, oh, we're committed to unique experiences, and so far everything is, like shooting and one driving game. But then like they started talking more about like the exclusives and shit, and it's like, all right, now we know what you're actually talking about.
Right.
And so I guess it sort of feels like a change of pace from what I'm used to from Microsoft. And maybe that's part of why, despite the fact that I said I didn't have much interest in certain spots, I think I am a little more positive with them. Granted, a lot of that was the 1-2-3 punch combo.
Right, I mean,
between the three.
Not to mention the fact that we got original Xbox support.
Oh wow! Yeah. Yeah, wow, that was surprising.
It's like a few years back, KI would not stop talking about the fact that Microsoft fucked up by announcing DRM, and Sony dealt them the most powerful blow of all time when they said you can share games with your friends. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. This year, some fucko from PlayStation Europe says, who would want to play PS1 and PS2 games? They're so hideous. Who would be caught dead playing them? And then Xbox comes out saying, like, we're still dedicated to Xbox 360 backwards compatibility, but let's kick it up a notch. Original Xbox, baby! We did it! We did it!
It's like, here's some bees.
The ultimate fucking punch in the face, and I loved it.
I understood that.
I mean,
it's surprising, man. I mean, not only is Xbox One backwards compatible with Xbox 360 games, but now we're going up generation further, or backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
now
amazing.
it's the entire Xbox line on one console. I love it.
It's the biggest thing, dude.
It is the greatest, and it's like I was expecting Sony to say something in response to that at their conference. They didn't say jack shit. They didn't say jack shit.
They're like, shit,
Yeah.
you caught me with my penis out.
I mean, they had Sean Layden like twice. That's
Yeah.
it, right?
I love Gerbil Man. Gerbil Man's
Yeah,
my
they-
favorite part of the Sony conferences.
I mean, did he appear twice or?
He
3 times?
did appear twice. And
Oh my god!
if you remember correctly, if Sean Layden sees his shadow, it'll be 6 months until... No, you know what? I'm not going to steal KI's good joke. He said that in the other podcast. I'm not going to steal that from him.
Oh yeah, and Anthem showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, Anthem. We already talked about that. Xbox One X is $499 US. I guess everyone was like, "This is the worst fucking price ever." I mean, I seem to remember some other platform that might have launched for, I don't know, maybe like $100 more than that.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe I'm
gamers are just they love hyperbole.
right.
You know, I mean, it's not.
You know, I
we're
do.
not-
I think.
We're not excluding ourselves as well. We love
Right.
hyperbole,
No, I
but,
fucking
you
love
know,
hyperbole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I think before we move on, I think I might cover a bit more on the Xbox One X.
Okay.
So I think I mentioned this some time ago, but I do feel like that at least they're putting, like, they're actually making a 4K capable machine instead of like using smokes and mirrors like with Sony.
My favorite thing about the Sony thing is that they announced that Crash Bandicoot is going to have fucking on PS4 Pro. It will only be capable of displaying like, I think it's 1330 pixels at 30 frames per second, and I'm like,
I mean, yikes.
Because like the other thing about it is that so for people who don't have 4K TVs, both the Pro and the Xbox One X will allow downsampling, which basically makes it look better for people. The issue between those is that it's basically a mandatory thing on the One X. PS4, it's like a hodgepodge mix of things. Like Horizon has it, The Last of Us Remastered used to have it, and then they said, fuck that. They just patched it out. And so I sort of messed around with Horizon for that. And so, of course, they also have like different performance options that you want to use, like if you want more frame rate or higher resolution, which would also equate to downsampling on systems that aren't hooked up to a 4K TV.
right.
And so then it really depends on what you want, because on a 1080p screen, it's if the frame rate's still good enough to go, alright, I want to use it on performance, because I don't really gain anything with the with frame rate, since it's the same frame rate regardless of the situation. So I can go with better graphics for like Horizon.
Right.
Whereas with Final Fantasy 15, that's a different story, because initially you could go with performance stuff like resolution, and it's like, oh, you can see the downsampling, but you can also tell it's not hitting 30 frames per second. And so with that, I would rather go with higher frame rate. And then they kind of fucked it up with a patch by going, all right, we'll allow 60 frames per second, but it doesn't really even reach that point. So it's not really locked frame rate. And so it just keeps fluctuating.
Right.
And it's like, great, now you have to wait for them to patch again, so that way they can better stabilize it. And given Square Enix illustrious speed of patching games, which takes for fucking ever, and it's a problem. And so it's like, you have to hope they do their shit right the first time. Otherwise, it's like, hey, here's World of Final Fantasy. It has pro support, but they fucked up the pro support, and it looks even worse than on the normal PlayStation 4. And so it's like, you may as well wait until they patch it 4 months later. Yeah, I really don't like how slow Square Enix is for patching shit.
Makes sense. I believe you.
I thought this was more about
More about what now?
Go ahead.
sorry, there's a
I have Sydney with me right now.
yeah.
So anyway, ready to move on?
I
Who's
thought
next?
you were talking about something else. But next we have
Let's
see. I think so. No, right?
Oh wait, no. The next one was Devolver Digital.
No. We forgot Bethesda.
Oh my
Did we?
god! One of the biggest wastes of
Let me
time
just
ever.
can I just
Oh
say
my
one
God.
last thing about Microsoft before we move on?
Yeah.
I think it's sad, but I guess Microsoft is the only one who thinks it's worthwhile making emulators of both the original Xbox and the Xbox 360, and I think that's really sad for some reason. Hey, it's Sydney.
Did I start using Discord?
Very recently.
God, you're so nerd.
God, we're so nerds, psych.
Why now?
Why
Well,
not?
We've been planning for it for a while. It's just we're looking for the right voice recording software while making use of Skype in the meantime. And so I think we're actually starting to get ready to move away from it. Skype.
Maybe.
Maybe. It depends.
Yeah. I will say Skype is quite
Well,
not Skype,
add my Discord.
but Discord's kind of unique
Do you guys have
setup.
polls? Do you don't have any funny polls?
I don't know what that is.
We
honestly.
make polls, like my role is
Oh, you're talking about role playing.
No,
No, and she's talking about
listen to me.
Like admin or moderator, you can make up your own shit.
yeah.
Settings.
Right.
There's settings.
The little circle by the headset.
That's not quite a circle.
Whatever. Okay. Then, shut up. Appearance. Do you not see appearance?
Here we go. Oh wait, no. Here we go. Ooh, dark. Hell yeah.
Not your language or doors open. Oh, sorry. Actually.
Hmm.
No. Okay.
Let's see. I see something that says, "Look at me. I'm a beautiful butterfly fluttering in the moonlight."
That's something you said.
Really?
Obviously, if it says that your name is on there, you
Yeah,
said
it says today at 8:58, but I don't recall putting that in there.
Maybe someone else is just showing your name.
Anyway. Oh,
Jeez,
no, it's
alright,
just an example.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, Cindy, we'll talk about this later.
That was a fun little diversion. All right, let's see. So Bethesda.
Oh boy, what a great big waste that was.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
What? Yeah, sure.
That was how they started the conference, wasn't it? Like they talked to a bunch of their kids,
Cindy, careful if you rip.
kind of like how we're talking to KG's kid sister right now.
Said, don't stretch.
Not the actual Dari, but an incredible simulation.
Cindy, you know your rib is damaged.
They tell you I have a cracked rib.
Yeah. Actually, you didn't tell me. Your mom did.
Oh. I make it sound like I'm adopted.
You know, I was kind of hoping she would look back as I was staring at her.
Yeah, that was kind of uncomfortable at the end there, but okay.
She gave me some gummy bears, though.
Oh, that's nice of her. So we had the VR shit. We had
Fuck it.
Doom and Fallout 4.
Fuck
We had the bit with the YouTubers for some reason.
it. Kill me.
Yeah, that was horrible. They had all these cartoon transitions, which sucked.
It had a lot of... Most of the conference was reused shit from last year.
Yeah, we all know about this stuff, and then for some reason they had VR Doom and VR
Fallout 4. No, Skyrim was
4.
later. Skyrim
Yeah.
was later.
Oh my
You're getting
God.
ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were showing Skyrim VR in the Bethesda one.
I mean,
but
it's
guess
like I
was
thought
fucking
that.
wrong.
Well, no, I mean, how could they have room for that? They were too busy showing us how Skyrim's coming to Switch and how Skyrim's gonna be in a fucking card game and how you can now pay for mods in Skyrim.
You know what was hilarious is that they had no release date for Skyrim on Switch.
Yeah, that's
Nothing.
true. Nothing.
They didn't
I
have.
know. It's just like, hey, here's some Amiibo shit, and it's like everything at the Bethesda place had like a fucking actual date, not even a time frame, an actual fucking.
Yeah, except for that.
They should have, because a lot of that shit was from last year.
Yeah.
But it's like, Skyrim on Switch, it's the third time we're showing it off. No, we don't have a date.
I don't get that either. Let's see, then we had like the new Dishonored game, which I guess that's like a spin-off or something. I don't know.
I was thinking, like, you know, they're adding a new expansion, and then it's like, no. At first, because, like, another thing that made me think about it was that it was like you saw all these people just doing shit. You know, like,
yeah.
Is this like a multiplayer game or something? And then it turns out it's not, because you see one person straight up dominating everyone else.
Right, that
like,
black chick with, like, the cybernetic implants for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when does Dishonored take place again? I never played any of them.
It's
I don't know.
It's not based in reality.
Oh, so it's like steampunk. Alright, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Or why not?
It's
Let's
steampunk
see.
mixed with supernatural elements.
Groovy.
It's
So
a
steampunk.
fun.
How original.
It's a fun game, but it kind of gets overwhelming later. It's like, make choices everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. You know what? Make a choice going stealth there or going stealth there, or hey, say hello to the guy over here, or kill this dude over here, or kill this dude over there, but over here.
Or
And it's
maybe
like-
just go
Go into the men's room or go into the women's room.
Or go into the men's room, but at the same time, go into the men's room. Like, what the fuck?
Shit. And then we got BJ Blazkowicz is coming to Quake Champions, which that's some weird ass shit, but okay, I'll take it. We got The Evil Within 2, which was literally a trailer that felt like it would never end.
Oh my god.
It just kept going. We thought it stopped like what, 3 times?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, it was a long-ass trailer.
It
I
just
know.
kept
Fuck,
going. Why? Let's see. Then we finally came to the one good thing Bethesda did in its entire conference, the new fucking Colossus.
Wolfenstein 2.
Yep. Which had a fucking monkey cat in it. I love that. I love that monkey cat. He was my favorite.
Wolfenstein was probably Bethesda's best game of the show, probably because it was new.
It was the only new one, aside from, I guess, The Evil Within 2, but they accidentally leaked that, and they didn't show any fucking gameplay or anything even resembling gameplay for it.
Nope.
No, Wolfenstein 2 was the only thing worth sharing in that entire conference.
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much. I love that little chameleon guy at the end. That was the greatest.
I know, and just put him on acid.
He was just on
Which
acid.
felt like a great thing to do considering the next conference.
Oh yeah. Maybe we all got drugged, and that was just a what's the word? A simultaneous hallucination. We are, of course, talking about Devolver Digital. Oh wow.
wow.
That was the greatest. That was the best.
The best thing ever. I can't even... It's not even possible to describe it in words. It's just...
It was an Adult Swim sketch that went too far and too long, and it took the entire piss out of all of E3.
Honestly, yeah. You know, I learned that, like, 2 streamers were streaming their reaction to this shit. I know Max was on Twitch watching this. I know Easy Allies were doing this, and they were not amused. They were fucking...
Max was angry at it.
I think Max was there. I don't know about Max. I mean, somebody watched Max. I think he wasn't happy. I know Easy Allies were fucking down the dumps because they thought it was something else.
They thought it was going to be a real conference.
Yeah, and they didn't get the joke. I guess not.
That was the best. And then the pre-show, which I think Psych stayed up all night watching that.
Jesus Christ.
I don't, man. I stayed up for like an hour, and
They had fucking
was pretty
Kaiju Big Battle on there. They had Frog Smasher. The Devolver Digital thing did have a couple games on it, though. They had Ruiner, and they had a new Serious Sam game, both of which looked great. But you know, again, the actual it's such a reversal. The actual conference was the best part.
I know. It's like, you.
Fucking Suda 51 was my favorite part. Who are you people? Get out of here! Get away from me! What are you doing here? Leave!
Get out of my house!
Get out of my... Go away!
My favorite part
Fuck off,
was the guy showing the... just showing the guy put these dollars to the screen.
Oh yeah, and then he lost his hand and was spraying like buffalo wing sauce everywhere.
And also, it's just so good. A lot of the dialogue she had and the shit they have in the audience, the stock footage of the audience, it's just so good.
Oh yeah, the stock footage. I also liked how she kept on screaming at them at times. She got really fucking pissed off at the audience. That was great.
And the ending part was just fantastic.
Oh yeah, let's see, what was that? Comment created content.
Yeah,
that was great.
That's the worst idea I've ever heard for anybody. Like if anybody actually made that, that's just fucking dumb. But
oh yeah, I agree.
What
they did with it was amazing.
Yeah. And it just turned to madness, and that was the best part for me.
I think I also liked the bit where they had like right before the thing started, they had like fake streamers like doing stupid shit. That was also that was also pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, and they had at the end of the credits, they had Greg Miller.
Oh yeah. Greg Miller.
I mean, he was there for like a couple seconds, but yeah.
God.
Devolver, you get a big thumbs up from me. You had the best conference after. I mean,
well, yeah.
Sure.
But...
I mean, it's just after the shitty conferences we had. I mean, besides Microsoft, it's so for me.
Right.
But yeah, after Bethesda and Sony, right? It was Sony.
Yeah, Sony. Well, no. Oh wait. Oh, yeah. No.
It was
Ubisoft. Wait. No. Wait. Are we talking about before Devolver Digital?
Before Devolver.
It was EA, Microsoft, and Bethesda.
Oh yeah, EA and Bethesda.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, God. Yeah, it's difficult. Let's see. What else do we got here? Next. Oh, boy, it's the greatest treat of them all. Who wants to talk about the PC gaming show, which I think I'm the only one who watched it?
Yeah, I
so
think
we
you're
can
the
probably
only
just
one.
skip it.
I just have one thing I want to I just have one thing I want to say about it.
What?
Right.
The back is really juicy and tasty too. You get around the back of Battlemech and penetrate it.
Sweet.
That was a fucking line in the actual thing. This thing happened when Microsoft used to do theirs, and it shows. That time slot is cursed. I shit you not. It is the worst possible time slot to do anything. Microsoft, if you do anything from here on out, do all of your conferences on Sundays from here on out. Early Monday is cursed.
Yeah.
It's cursed.
Mm-hmm.
This thing was gibbering nonsense. There was literally a point where I had assumed that this was a parody like the Devolver Digital one, but it wasn't a parody. It was real. It was real. Why was it real? God.
Let's see. How long was the gaming show?
Oh God, it must have been like just over 2.5 hours. No, just over 1.5 hours. I'm sorry. It felt like over like 5 hours, but it was like 1.5 hours.
Because I'm pretty sure it was like 3 or 4 hours the last two times.
Oh yeah, it was. But they also dropped. They didn't have the talk format.
Oh really?
Yeah,
wow.
they dropped. It was more of like a standard conference.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That kind of, it's kind of sad.
Mhm.
It's kind of sad. I mean, I know they wanted to do their own thing, but I guess it didn't work out for them.
Hmm.
Oh, brother. Oh, well. I don't know what to say. They do love PC gaming, but... Oh, well. This is not good E3.
The thing about it is that the PC gaming show is always sort of dedicated to a specific subclass of PC gamers, and that's just not me, you know?
Yeah.
So, moving on. Next we got... oh, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. All
I
right.
didn't end up
boy.
watching it.
Honestly, I
I
only watched one part of it.
watched an archive at double speed.
Oh.
So they first started off with Mario plus Rabbids, and so I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll just come in. I'll see what it is. And I believe from our initial pre-E3 thing, and we were down on it for the most part, especially since early info kind of made it sound bad, along with the info cards that were put out, which were, it was just like, what in the world? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, did you make the right decision? And so it's like, all right, let's see what they have at stores. I think they made it sound like there were two different videos for the game before Nintendo showed it off today.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, we'll just watch it. At first I'm like, this is too slow. The world looks kind of big, but you move a little too slow. And then later on, it's like, oh, I guess you can run too. And everyone's running like they're from fucking Naruto and shit. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I was like, graphically, it looks pretty all right. It looks like a good take on what Mushroom Kingdom was like or something. And then it got to the battles. And I think initially I'm like, all right, okay, let's see. We have the turn-based strategy stuff. And so I'm like, all right, okay. And then it's like, all right, let's show a little more advanced stuff. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, holy shit, that caught me by surprise. And so a lot of my change of feelings was more of a gradual, along with the trailer that I watched. That was the only bit that I watched from Ubisoft, since I was like, I think I'm going to save my data for tomorrow instead.
You made the right choice.
For today.
Right.
But I was just like, oh. And so I'm like, I wonder if it was just me that sort of changed my thoughts on it.
Oh no,
I looked around, I was like, holy shit. I didn't think it would flip so many people at once.
Shit, you're not even the only person in this chat whose opinion changed. Like, Shell loves it. Dari's on the fence.
When isn't he on the fence?
You're right.
I kind of zoned out. What are you guys talking about?
He's talking about Rabbids.
I saw the trailer, which of course didn't show any gameplay, but
Well, they did show gameplay later on, though.
yeah, they did. I saw gameplay later, and I'm like,
I'm just not a fan of it.
I'm not angry like you are. I'm not like fucking breaking my phone. Like, I'm just like, okay. I mean, this is gonna work for somebody out there. I mean, from a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, they were like, nah, this doesn't look good, and some people are like, maybe I'll play it when they saw the gameplay, and I don't know. I don't know myself. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I don't think so.
I might, but I'm gonna have to check my August, which probably doesn't have much stuff. Actually, damn, it's coming out at a bad time now that I think about it.
Well, I mean, you could
Because
just grab
around
it
that
later.
time, if I remember correctly, Yakuza Kiwami comes out that day.
Oh yeah, that's got to be your most important game of that month.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know it for sure. I'm ready for this.
I mean, if it's an Ubisoft game, maybe it'll get discounted later on.
Maybe, but on the other hand, it's also a Nintendo game.
We'll just have to see who publishes it or something.
Yeah, it seems other games coming out in August is Warriors All Stars, which comes out the same day as Kiwami. I don't really care about Senran Kagura. Let's see, the rest of August for PlayStation, which is fucking ginormous, Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see, Ark Survival Evolved, Mega Man Legacy Collections.
Oh, I'm waiting for that, and also Sonic Mania.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else? I guess I'll list this for people who care. Uncharted, The Lost Legacy.
Oh.
The sequel. Oh wait, no, that's Never mind.
Right.
Oh, we're moving on to Sony
That's
already?
for PS...
No. He's just talking about August now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just for PS4. And Switch is also Sonic Mania, Mario and Rabbids, and the Azure Striker Gunful Striker Pack.
Yeah.
So August seems pretty packed.
All right. So let's see. After they talked about Rabbids, let's see.
This is all new territory to me.
Oh yeah, they showed off Assassin's Creed Origins again.
Okay, yeah, we already talked about it.
Let's see.
Page's favorite game.
You'd like to hear our opinions on this. Go back to this timestamp.
God.
Yep, right here.
Let's see. And then at one point they had like the pre-show crew, which I don't know what they called them, something stupid. They were trying to show off gameplay, but here's the thing. They were outside and playing it on a monitor or something. The screen glare was legendary.
Oh, brother.
After that, we got a trailer for The Crew 2, The Squeakquel, as I call it. A game no one asked for.
Yo, we're loving the crew. We're loving the crew. We're loving the crew.
At about that point, I realized just how much I missed Asia Tyler. Please come home, Asia. I love you.
Crew 2. Oh!
Yeah.
Is it a sequel to this?
They made a sequel to this.
What the fuck?
I know, right?
They heard the song Crew Love, and they're like, we gotta do this again.
Let's see. Then they showed off South Park. Still looks good. Still angry that they're putting De Nouveau on the PC version. Hoping those fuckers die. Huh?
It's like, why even bother at this point?
Because Ubisoft has to be evil. Let's see. Then after that, they showed off some VR shit starring Elijah Wood.
Oh, really?
It looked boring.
You can have Elijah's Wood.
Then I kept mentioning how much the CEO of Ubisoft, it's like his name's like Yves Guillermo or some shit.
Yeah.
Guillermo or something. That dude scares the hell out of me. He creeps me out. He makes me feel very uncomfortable. I don't know what it is about him. He's like a villain, or he's like the monster in like a Peter Jackson movie.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah, sure.
He creeps me. He gives me the creeps. I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy, but that dude scares the hell out of me. Let's see. Then we had Skull and Bones. Moving on. That was... Remember Assassin's Creed Black Flag, how you could, like, drive the ship around?
Yeah.
That's the entire game.
Oh.
Yeah. Moving on. Then Ubisoft ruined Jamiroquai for me by advertising Just Dance with their music. So I'm sad about that. I love Jamiroquai. They're like one of my favorite bands of all time. So that made me sad. Let's see. Oh yeah, South Park's got a phone game that's apparently free to play, which makes me wonder, did they forget that whole episode they made about that, where they called it exploitative Skinnerbox bullshit.
Oh, I remember that episode.
That was a good episode. I'm just kind of angry that they forgot about it. Let's see. What else was there? Oh yeah, Starlink. Ubisoft is getting into the toys to life market.
They're a little slow on that.
They're a little slow on everything, KG.
Oh, yeah.
Including stroking my cock.
Exactly. Let's see. Then we
Wouldn't that be a
saw.
good thing in that scenario, though.
He's got a point there.
Oh well.
Then I just
Yeah,
kept yelling
damn
at
it.
them because everyone who works at Ubisoft has a ridiculous accent. Somehow,
Well,
even
They're
No.
French Canadian, aren't they?
one dude was from actual Canada, and he had a ridiculous. He was from real Canada. He was from the Canada that didn't think they were France, and he had a ridiculous accent too. They showed off Steep, which was that snowboarding game. I guess they're making expansions for it. I don't care.
Didn't they say it was coming to Switch or something?
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, that's just how I feel. I don't care. Let's see. Then after that, they showed off Far Cry 5, which... Yep. It sure is. And-
I don't know about that game.
And
I haven't played
then...
any of the Far Cry games, but it's just that, I'm interested in this one.
I still want to
I
play
like it.
Blood Dragon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not impressed with open world games right at the moment. Right.
I agree, especially Ubisoft open world games, which
Yeah,
are a
it-
genre on their own.
Yeah,
And
It's
not
just
in
a
a good
chore.
way.
it's a chore.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, you have a game this year called, I don't know if anybody's heard of it, called Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wug.
Breath of the Wild, and it has
Breath
better,
of
it has, the open world is fucking phenomenal. There's so much to do in so little space, and you get sidetracked everywhere.
I will say that Breath of the Wild's greatest feature, of course, is not only just the gliding, but it's the fact that you can climb shit.
I thought
Yeah,
it was the
believe
fact
me.
that there was a bar shark in it.
I guess that's the third one, but it's like playing Horizon. I'm like, I wish I could climb over some of this shit.
It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, in a few years or a few months, depending on when gamers catch up, they're gonna say, I think I made a pretty good analysis of why Zelda spoiled us.
Yeah, these are entitled gamers thinking that
In any
every
case.
game should be this good.
I mean, sure, I know. It's just that it's not going to be original. It's going to be just one asshole over here, and then it's going to be everybody else.
500 assholes will just repeat what he said in slightly different ways.
Yeah,
Anyway,
even us.
Even us.
Just expect that to be in a podcast.
Oh yeah,
sometime
for sure.
in the future.
2020, the year 2020. And then of course came Ubisoft's big announcement.
I don't know.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Oh boy, the game that somehow managed to fail its expectations compared to Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah, that was weird. The crowd was cheering way less for that than Rabbids, and I'm like, what the hell happened? You people are begging for this for almost a decade. What's wrong with you?
I think the issue with one of these that I picked up was that people wanted a sequel, not a prequel.
Well, they didn't realize it was a prequel during the trailer, did they?
I don't know.
I mean,
I didn't watch it. I just saw it was announced, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I'm surprised that was announced. And that was about it. And then I looked at impressions. I'm like, "Wow, I'm kind of surprised they fucking hate it."
I mean, one of my favorite Twitter accounts is the CEO Kaz Hirai,
Yeah.
and he said something that just made me laugh my ass off. between when Beyond Good and Evil 2 was first announced and today, we both announced and released The Last Guardian. And I'm like laughing my ass off at that. And then I guess Michael and Cell came out and he was crying. And I was also confused that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a prequel because, like, did any of you guys play it?
Nope.
Apparently it ended on a really big cliffhanger, I've been told.
So...
I don't know. Shell was hyped for it. Maybe the Shellcast will shed some light on this.
Yeah.
But probably not. And then the last thought I had on it was like, wait, did they just rip off the project thing for like Mega Man Legends 3, where they say they want like fan feedback on this?
It'll be canceled because nobody supports it.
That was my first thought too. It's like they're gonna cancel this, aren't they?
Okay, I bet KG's chest hairs on this.
About what?
That Beyond Good and Evil 2 is gonna get canceled.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a safe bet. I don't really... I mean, especially... I mean, look at how hyped people were for Mega Man Legends. Like, when Mega Man Legends 3 was announced, people started, like, holding each other and sobbing uncontrollably. I think some people started having seizures. Some people jizzed their pants, like, right there and then. But, with this game, it was like, yay, hooray, that's nice. That's good. I'm happy with this. I'm fine with this. Yeah, finally. I guess. I mean, I kind of moved on. I guess. So yeah, that was Ubisoft. And now on to the grand finale. The big poobah. The man of the hour.
Oh, that's great.
It's Sunny.
Yep, it's Sorny.
So immediately, when we were bitching and moaning about the fact that they had 2 hours of show instead of the one that we thought they had, they revealed that Coco was playable in the Crash Bandicoot trilogy.
Yeah, in all 3 games, which I'm impressed by that. The only thing that I noticed about it that was kind of weird is that some of her animations look kind of janky as hell. It looks wrong. It looks weird.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I'm cool with it. I like the option. I think that does add something to it, even though they appear to play similarly. I mean, what would have been really cool would have been if they did like a Mario Luigi thing where maybe she jumps a little bit higher or something, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that would have been cool. Also, Undertale is coming to PlayStation 4 and also PlayStation Vita.
That's literally the voice thing.
That was my favorite line of the whole conference. And also PlayStation Vita.
Yeah.
And the best part about this, and I didn't even realize this until much later, somehow PC managed to hijack that announcement because they also announced the Collector's Edition, which is apparently for the PC version, a physical PC copy of the game with various trinkets and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. They had fucking Mettaton himself advertising the thing. I loved it.
My cousin's currently watching the Nintendo conference right now.
Oh, that's good. I mean, I liked Undertale. I liked it. I admit it. I know that the fan base is horrible, and I didn't get to play it until they started becoming horrible, but fortunately, I was able to start playing it before the game theory guy tried to give the Pope a copy of the game. That's really all you can hope for.
Yeah. I mean, he was there at E3 for a bit.
The Pope?
With Jeff Keighley. No.
Oh, Matt Pat.
Yeah, the Pope was at E3.
Well, yeah, the Dorito Pope, of course. Why I gave the Dorito Pope a copy of Undertale on PlayStation Vita.
So,
he's like, but I don't have one.
Sure you do. Oh, God. And then they showed off, I guess, Tropico 6 is happening. That's nice.
I guess.
It's great.
Are I guess we can move on to the actual conference then.
Yeah, okay, so when they started it off, they were just playing a bunch of sitar music, and for like 5 minutes or something, and then they cut into the Uncharted The Lost Legacy thing.
Yeah, that's what I gathered from that text my cousin sent to me.
Which I guess it's a prequel to one of the games or something. I don't know. I don't really care.
It was initially DLC for Uncharted 4.
Ah.
It became its own thing.
Okay, that would explain it. Let's see. Then I thought the Horizon DLC was God of War. I was wrong.
It's Horizon.
It's Horizon. And
Yeah,
then, of course...
I watched the trailer for it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like...
Yeah. And then, of course, came the greatest game in all of Sony's conference. I am, of course, talking about Days Gone! Guest starring Dan fucking Aykroyd! Dan Aykroyd is in the game, people!
I
didn't even see that.
He looked like Dan Aykroyd. That one guy in the wool cap looked like fucking Dan Aykroyd. I swear to God.
This game is like, oh, hey, we can do something like Naughty Dog.
Yeah, we're Ben Studio. We're the new Naughty Dog. Move over, Naughty Dog, with your Uncharted and your The Last of Us. We've got Days Gone.
It looks so boring.
And then there was that whole bit where they showed, like, the stage at various... Like, what was the point of having the interactivity in the streams? It didn't help anything. It just confused me.
Well, yeah.
Like, you saw the dead bodies start moving around. Like, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck was that supposed to be? That was stupid.
It just... I don't know, man.
Let's see.
It looked... The gameplay is not... I don't know. Everything was in engine, and the cutscenes look fucking ugly.
The weird part about the cutscenes is that the textures looked like they belonged in like a pre-rendered cutscene, but the animations looked like they were in-game, and combining those two elements made something that looked truly horrific.
It just reminds me of a Xbox 360 PS3 game. Not an early one, but come on, we've done a generational leap already.
You know, the worst part is you just reminded me, like, when people were still complaining about how there wasn't much unique stuff at the Microsoft thing initially.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's more zombies, and it's like, and I also remember seeing a tweet at how it's a meta genre.
Yeah.
Because every time you think it's dead, it's not.
Okay, that's a good one. I gotta give you props for that. And then they had that fucking bear that was wrapped in like barbed wire. What the hell was that supposed to be? And then came my boy. What's his name? Sean what? Sean Lenny?
Sean Layden.
Sean Layden. A man who I believe is in fact half gerbil. In fact, I want to believe that Sean Layden was actually built in Sony's lab back in the PS1 era in order to devise some form of a mascot. They mixed a human DNA with that of a gerbil, and that's where Sean Layden came from. Because the man is so rodent-like, it defies convention. Have you ever seen him? Like, it's not even that he just looks like he's got big old gerbil-ass teeth. We can all acknowledge this, right? He has giant gerbil-esque teeth. But his posture is also very rodent-like. He has his arms up like in a shit, how would you even describe it? Like it's like his forearms are up against his chest, his hands are limp down. He looks like he could hold on to a giant pellet and like chitter away at it.
Yeah.
He scurries off stage all the time. You ever notice? He scurries. He scurries like a rodent. He doesn't walk off with any he scurries away. But don't get me wrong. I do not hate Sean Layden. I love Sean Layden. But the man is a gerbil. And then he announced Monster Hunter World, which is a game that KG really wants to talk about, so I'll let him take it away.
Alright, Monster Hunter World. It is a game that has filled me with mixed emotions, and ultimately I think it came out that I think it might have been Sony's best thing, or at least one that catches my interest the most. But that was a rough path to go through because initially it showed off basically like using seeker insects, or scouting insects or whatever, and like highlighting tracks like you have detective mode, and it's like putting on this grass coat to hide yourself from monsters. And I'm sitting here going, I don't think we really use stealth much for Monster Hunter, unless of course it's like an arena match, and you use smoke bombs to make sure you can focus on one monster at a time without the other one getting involved. But anyway, and there was also the grapple hook to showcase the verticality, monsters attacking each other, and a bunch of other stuff. And we got very little glimpses of gameplay, which was kind of, we weren't too sure about it initially, and I think part of it was just because the greatsword's kind of boring to watch. But I think the more stuff came out, it was like, oh hey, I think a lot of what colored perceptions for many people was that there was an old 4chan rumor that ended up being right for once in regards to Monster Hunter.
Well, they were also right about the Bethesda VR stuff.
Oh yeah, but this was a completely separate
okay.
rumor.
Fair
it was
enough.
Purely Monster Hunter related stuff.
Dragon Builder Monster Hunter Edition.
Yeah. And so I think the thing that stuck out the most was that it was a Western-focused Monster Hunter, and because it said Western focus, we were like, what the hell are they going to do? And so you see the features that they showcase, and it's like, oh boy, what are they doing? What are they doing? And then it turns out more people get their hands on it. Some of them are Monster Hunter veterans, and it's like all the weapons are returning. It plays just like a Monster Hunter game, and then the more more information comes out, the more it's like when they say Western, they just mean it's on consoles. That's it.
That's funny.
And so it's like, if they just said that, that would be a completely different thing. And I think the other thing that helped scale down some disappointment was the fact that someone linked to the initial Monster Hunter 4 trailer, and it was actually pretty bad. But then again, it also made me remember that a lot of people shat on it initially because we were like, what the hell are they doing? They're casualizing it to sell more in the West. So basically it was like the same loop over and over again. What caused some dampers was what I've mentioned several times, was like the 1-2-3 punch of the whole crossplay thing with Minecraft, and in the next podcast stuff we'll talk about Rocket League for Switch also being crossplay.
Right.
And so I was sort of getting really annoyed because I was like, what if it being on PS4 kind of closed it off from being crossplay and shit. I'm like, that makes me sore. I kind of wish it was on Switch instead of PS4. And I actually wouldn't really go, why did they put it on Xbox or PC if it meant we could have crossplay and stuff. And so another thing that bugged me is that they were going, oh, there's cross-region multiplayer for the first time. And when they say that, it's more like you can play with Japanese people. And on top of that, because cross-region multiplayer was a thing for older Monster Hunter games, but not for the Japanese.
Right, Japanese was its own separate thing because they were playing that shit way before you guys, right?
Well, that and there was also content that was exclusively there due to licensing.
Like the Sailor Moon thing.
Yeah. And so there was all that, and Monster Hunter 3 actually used servers, so they had to split it up. But cross-region between North America and Europe was already normal. So it's like a kick in the balls when they go, here we have cross-region with Japanese, because the only people who benefited from it is people on PlayStation 4. And so it's like, because there's no cross-platform, it's like it
also, I think isn't the PS4 version the only one coming out in Japan?
Yeah. And so it's kind of like a kick in the balls in a sense, and it's like it kind of reinforces why play it on Xbox if the main audience is just going to be on PS4. And so I'm like, right. And so the final one that kind of put a damper on it, this isn't exactly in order of my mood swings. I just separated it into two different things. But one of the things I became worried about was Monster Hunter Double Cross not coming here, because they're making this a simultaneous worldwide launch for the first time, which oddly enough, I sort of thought about in the case of Double Cross, because it was releasing on Friday in Japan, August 25th or some shit. And so, because Capcom has their hands full with it, and Nintendo has their hands full with Monster Hunter stories, the future of Monster Hunter Double Cross is in the air.
So what are you most anticipated for, KG? Double Cross or World? It's something I wanted to ask you yesterday, but I guess not time.
Honestly, if I'll be honest, I think I'll go with World, primarily because Double Cross is sort of like an expansion pack for Generations. And so there's some new monsters, some of it brand new, some new variant monsters, and then some older monsters coming back into the game, although not all the older monsters return. Partly, for example, like some of them function better for underwater combat, and that's never coming back. And like Gen 1 and 2 monsters are fucking horrendous to fight, because like you can compare them between each generation, and it's like the animation is leap and bounds, and the differences between monsters of their respective generations stand out a lot more. And like with Double Cross, I legitimately didn't care too much when it was initially 3DS only, and my interest mainly come from the fact of it was coming to Switch.
Right.
But right now, I do think I can actually give World a shot. I do like that all the weapons are returning, but I still think that they might have a Monster Hunter 3 scenario where there won't be as many monsters, since like like with Monster Hunter 3 they did a bunch of new models and animations for some older monsters, and so it's like we can't just jump straight in and like do that with all the other monsters.
Right.
And that being said, I'm kind of torn on the new monster design so far, considering it sort of feels like they're stepping back in regards to monster design. And so I'm wondering if it's sort of like a reboot in a sense that we're bringing the monsters back to a more basic level. But yeah, Monster Hunter World, early 2018. I think I can actually give this a chance.
Well, that's good.
Alright, now then, I forgot what was after that.
let's see. Oh yeah, the Shadow of the Colossus remake or remaster or whatever.
Oh, it's Shadow of the Colossus.
I mean, I don't even understand if it is in fact a full remake, which I don't think it is. I think it is just a although they did just remaster it for the PS3, so it's really weird that they're just doing it alone now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't... If it is a remake, I don't see the point, simply because...
I kind of wonder what version it's based on, because, like, the one they released on PS3 was based on the European version.
Was that improved?
It was more difficult.
Oh.
In some senses, it was rather annoying at how difficult it was, because, like, your stamina can go down a bit quickly, and, like, I was on the third Colossus, and, like, it kept constantly shaking to the point that I could hardly progress on the Colossus, and so I'm like, I'm not entirely sure if I'm fond of that, that they did that. Like, I kind of wish that they gave us the option at least. But it is what it is.
Alright then. And then after that... I guess I'll wait for Psych to go. You know what? We'll keep going, actually, because I don't really...
Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock here.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, let's go through this. We are on to Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Jesus Christ.
Please refer to side A.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't want to talk. That's the thing, though. Disc 1, we weren't allowed to talk about it. Now I just don't want to talk about it. I'll yell about this in the shellcast, I'm sure, but Jesus Christ, this game looks hideous. The shitty roster is real. Everything is dying. Like, Marvel is dead to me. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is my new best friend. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I'll come back to when Psych comes back. I'll let him talk about this if he wants to. But in the meantime, let's just do a quick rundown of some shit that nobody wants to talk about. How does that sound?
Yeah, that's fine. I also like how you almost said queer.
Yeah, I did. Let's see. Call of Duty World War II. Yay or nay? Yeah, fuck it. PlayStation VR.
Oh, fuck it. Just move past that.
No, but how can you want to skip Skyrim VR, KG?
Because that was from last year.
Let's see. Then they made fucking The Impatient, some side-scroller, the Final Fantasy 15 fishing game, Bravo Team, the mouse game, fucking Despero over here, in a game called Mouse, starring a mouse. Why would you call the mouse game Moss? I don't understand.
Maybe it's like some sort of German word.
Maybe. Wait, I know German. That's not how you spell mouse in German. In fact, mouse is pronounced mouse in German.
It looks like it says moose.
Yeah.
Moose.
Hey, Psych, do you want to talk shit about Marvel?
Oh shit. Where to start?
Because we just said fuck it.
I don't know. I figured...
we were willing to let you talk about it.
Yeah, we're willing to let you talk about it because I'm depressed now.
Where do I start? Okay, so fucking, okay. Ultron comes in, swoops in, and Ultron Sigma, sorry. Fuck, where was my head? Right there. Fucking hell.
I think that's appropriate for this game.
And tell me about it.
It's just that, we have the most boring-ass roster, and Black Panther shows up and he's fucking DLC.
Just like Sigma.
Well, I mean, people like to spend money on black people.
Huh. Wait, but we got one for free in the last game.
Well, everyone needs a freebie.
She was even a woman.
I mean, I know Capcom is pretty much, no stranger to these practices, but, then we have these fucking ugly ass facial expressions. Chun-Li is the worst.
Oh god.
It's like people are saying, "Oh, no, they'll fix them," but it's like they're using these models as the promotional renders, and that just tells me that they're not going to fix it. See,
Yeah,
even
like
Sydney hates it.
I mean, we're like, what, 3 months away?
Yeah, about 3 months away from this shit. This game is practically gone gold. There's no hope here. There's no hope left.
Yeah, there's no going back.
There's no coming back from this.
No.
So it's terrible. So
No.
then we talked about Call of Duty and VR. I'm sure you don't want to
more
talk about
water.
that shit either, because we didn't. We just sort of skipped it.
I drink that
No,
word.
the VR is not something I'm interested in.
Sid, stop moaning.
No.
Sydney, your rip won't kill you. Don't worry.
Okay, so then after that we had God of War, which, I mean, I was never really into the series, so I got no strong opinion one way or the other.
Mhm.
It looks good.
I mean, it
Looks
looks
alright.
better than it did last time. I'll
Yeah,
give
but
it
you're
that.
still, hey kid, move up the way. Move
Fuck
up
it.
the way.
The fucking kid annoys me.
Like,
Kurt-
I wasn't against the gameplay last year, but looking at this year, it's just, wow, they made some huge ass improvements. The combat is like very, very solid.
Yeah.
I the way it flows, the way you hit a monster and just rip it apart, then you hit it again, and it's a different effect.
It
Not
looks a lot like
hack
the
and
old
slash.
games, which kind of looks stiffer than I'm used to, but it looked less stiff than it did at the PlayStation Experience. Or whenever we saw it last. I forget, was that the PlayStation Experience?
E3.
E3? Alright.
Mhm.
Let's see. Then, of course, a game that only I could remember. Detroit Become Human.
Oh no, I remember it took way too fucking long.
No. Like, I was when we saw it, I'm like, oh shit, this is Detroit. And everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about?
I remember what it was.
I know, but it's like, a lot of people in the chat, we were actually having a voice call while we were watching it, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Detroit. It's like, what the hell do you mean Detroit? You mean the city Detroit? Why are you talking about the city Detroit, Icepick? No, the game is called Detroit. Why? I don't know, man. Detroit is a city. You're crazy. No, it's the David Cage game that's called Detroit Become Human. Icepick, if David Cage were making a new game, I think they would have announced it. They did. They announced this like last year. Well, I don't remember that.
Like, I don't fucking blame you.
Like fucking hell. So this game looks like it's going to be terrible in a brand new way. In fact, I think it's got some really weird political messages behind it. Because like, okay, so I'm just gonna take the safe route on this one.
Actually, just don't bother.
No.
I mean, I
No.
don't know what you.
No. I'm not gonna go anywhere controversial on this. I promise.
That's not what I mean. I'm just like, maybe it might be just safe to not try to do anything.
Just let me say my piece, and you can yell at me if I say something wrong, okay? How's that sound? Okay, so, like, the androids don't have...
Cut!
So, like, the androids don't have sentience until their new leader gives it to them. So, you're not actually torturing them, are you?
I'm honestly now scared of where you're going with this.
No. I'm talking about, like, so, like, we only consider torture when something's sentient, right? Like, alive, living, capable of feeling pain? Like an
Depends on
animal.
who we're talking.
Like an
I
animal, a
don't know.
person, that sort of thing?
I don't know. I mean, we're not quite friendly to some animals.
You know what I'm saying, though. Like,
Yes.
you have to be alive in order for someone to torture you, right?
I guess so.
So, like, they weren't alive before he hacked them. Right?
Yeah.
That they were just, like, kind of mindless automatons up to that point. So he made the problem himself. I don't understand. I don't understand this game at all.
I think I'm starting to piece more things together as I think about it, and I'm like, I'm really scared now.
No. That's as far as I'm willing to go. I'm not going to go anywhere else with this.
You know.
I know, but it's just, I think when you put it that way, and what I remember, it's kind of like, I'm like, I don't even know how they...
The truth is, I couldn't even tell who was an android or who was a person in the game. The graphics were that bad. That's how bad it was.
I mean, the trailer was so fucking boring.
It was. The weird thing about it is that,
I think that was when I tuned out because I had to take care of some family.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, you chose the perfect time, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That and the VR shit. That would have been perfect, too.
Yeah, and then I tried to get on at some point, and I think Spider-Man was next.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, but...
Yeah.
Oh, you skipped Destiny 2! You don't want to talk about Destiny 2?
Oh, wait, I saw that post. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, then the only note I wrote after I said Destiny 2 showed up was, did they accidentally show all of the good stuff during the pre-show? Then they showed Spider-Man, which, that was great. I enjoyed that. It's like an Arkham game.
You know, the worst part, I told you this before, but, I was having internet issues at the time.
Right.
So or at least on my phone, I don't know.
You only got to see the QT segments, I know.
Yeah, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, you didn't understand why we were all like, oh shit, this is amazing. This is the greatest thing
actually,
ever.
I didn't even see your stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. You didn't see why we were like, oh shit, this looks great. You were just saying,
No, I meant your comments.
Oh, you didn't hear us talking about how amazing the game looked.
Yeah, so I didn't really get much more in regards to...
But it had a combat system and, a stealth takedown system that was basically that of the Arkham games, which... If you're going to rip off anything... If you're going to make a Spider-Man game and you're going to rip off something, Arkham Asylum is a pretty good place to start.
Yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, it used Spider Sense to a...
Yeah, to do, Witch Time.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
Right.
Spider Sense is it's not just a warning signal. I mean, some people think it is, but it's... I mean, how does Spider-Man know where to web swing?
I thought that was also Spider Sense.
I mean, that's Spider Sense. He doesn't do it at random.
Right.
That's what I mean. Yeah, Spider Sense is a lot more complicated than what we understand.
I mean, yeah, but it's a video game, so they can't make it perfectly realistic.
No, I'm saying that average Spidey fans wouldn't. That would go over their heads a little bit.
Right. I actually if he is I like the new Spider-Man voice actor. I like him. I think he's Yuri Lowenthal.
He's probably Yuri.
Ben 10. Mm-hmm. He's Ben 10 is Spider-Man now. That's great. And then I had some thoughts earlier today that I didn't get to put into the other podcast, so I figure I'll put them in here. Microsoft and Sony pretty much took the opposite strategies this year.
How so?
Okay, hear me out on this one. So Microsoft put together a fairly good show in order to mask one of the last things that they mentioned, which was the price point of the Xbox One X, right? Because everyone's like, $499, fuck that shit, bad, shit like that.
Yeah.
But before that and around that, they put a whole bunch of stuff that's oh, hey, that's nice. Hey, that's cool. Hey, there's an actual reason to buy an Xbox One now. Unless you have a PC.
Yeah.
And that was fine. And then Sony, on the other hand, seemed to put Spider-Man at the very end of their conference because they didn't have anything else that could really appeal to that broad of an audience, you know?
I mean, see, the thing with Sony's conference is that while they showed Uncharted, Lost Legacy, and the first 3 games they showed were just things we already knew about.
Right.
And
then God of War was something we already knew about.
Almost everything. I mean, even Spider-Man, which looked great, is something we already knew about.
It's ironic because I used to criticize that the big games that Sony would always reveal would be shit that would not come out for like 3 fucking years. Like, we're still waiting on Shenmue, and we're still waiting on Final Fantasy VII, and we're still waiting on Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh, yeah.
So, like, this is what happens when you take a Sony conference and you strip out everything that is so pie in the sky, so far away from release that it's not even worth talking about yet. And it just ends up kind of being kind of hollow, really.
And two big games weren't shown at Sony E3: Last of Us 2 and what was the other one?
It was weird that I was expecting The Last of Us 2 to be Gran Turismo Sport.
No,
Wait,
not Gran Turismo.
Okay, sorry. I thought that was.
Reedus and his naked fetus.
Oh yeah, no. They said that wasn't going to be at E3 this year.
I know, but even though it's still kind of odd.
I agree with you. I mean, Shenmue 3 was also not going to be at E3. Like, a whole bunch of these games that people were looking forward to were just like, you know what, fuck E3. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's been a very lackluster one.
Well, I mean, at least until today.
I mean, yeah. It's been very hauntingly lackluster.
Empty.
Hollow.
Very hollow. The weird thing is that Nintendo isn't the only thing that made me happy today. But I'll get to that tomorrow. I'll get to that in the next podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, like, I got to see a trailer for a game that they announced before E3 that I'm really excited for that I don't think anyone else cares about.
Sure, why not?
It's Y2. See, you don't even know what that is.
I don't.
Exactly. I'm not even trying to like mess with you. I'm just saying that, like, I'm excited for it, but it's like nobody knows what.
Mess with you.
Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about there. It's gibberish to you.
I like this.
Gibberish all on the floor.
Everybody
Gibberish.
walk
Give
the
me some
dinosaur.
more.
Fucking, I can't believe Concept got bought out by Level 5.
I know, right?
I have to applaud Inafune. The man is a genius at scamming. He is a genius. I can't help but clap. I can't help it myself. That was impressive. It was impressive. Like, Concept is worthless, and he got Level 5 to buy them out.
He's like, oh, I need like some blowjobs here, guys.
Like, what would you get? What do you get when you get fucking Concept? You get Mighty Number 9. You get Red Ash. What else do you get?
Soul Sacrifice.
Oh, really? They own that?
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. So they do have something worth buying. Oh, no, wait. I would say that, but now that Monster Hunter is back on Sony, it's worthless.
Yeah.
It's worthless, you see.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, Keiji Inafune is clearly the greatest con artist of our time, and I can't help but applaud. The man is the Steve Jobs of Japan. And that really says something. He is a genius. But that's enough shit out of me. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
I just want to ask you guys, any chance you guys are getting the Scorpio in our lifetime?
Probably not. Most of the shit's on PC anyway, and I got a strong enough rig to run most of it.
What about you, KG?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll take that as a yes.
Strong
Absolutely.
words.
Yeah, I mean,
Strong words.
He's absolutely fapping with excitement over the Xbox One X.
He truly... don't you mean the XBOX?
Or the Xbox?
The Xbox.
I don't know. Probably not. Probably, yeah. I don't know. Maybe after the first price drop.
Right. Okay, KG. Well, yeah, I mean, you've got plenty of time to wait before Kingdom Hearts 3, that's for sure.
Oh my god.
I can't believe they said, we're expecting to release Final Fantasy VII Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3 around, by 2020. By 2020. That is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Honestly, it's not unexpected. Like,
It isn't, but, like, Jesus Christ, you just, like, took the piss out of everyone.
yeah.
I heard like a billion Sora fanboys screaming out in fangirls screaming out in pain because they won't get to see their husbando for a while.
Even KG.
Especially KG.
Sorry, KG.
Okay, KG, do you have any final thoughts
About what?
about E3 before before today?
Oh, it's like someone save us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All right, so until next time, this has been Side B signing off.
All right.
See you next time.
Alright, see you next time on the Konami Exodus.
I miss Konami's 2010 conference. I need to watch that again.
That was when they were going off the deep end.
Oh yeah,
More
totally.
than one way.
Yeah.
In a funny way.
Yeah.